All right, y'all. What's happening? What's happening? It's Omni Cosmic in the house. Let's get it cracking. Let's talk about what we talk about. Let's do what we do. Let's make it real for ourselves. Change and reconditioning the way we think so we can have a better present and a better future. So, what we're talking about today is what I've been telling y'all on Facebook. I was going to talk to you a while ago. We're going to talk about reconditioning. That's what we're doing. Okay, I was watching this video here. Sorry about that. So we're going to talk about how to get rid, or not get rid, let's not say that, releasing your past. That's what we're talking about. Okay, how staying in prison in your past can destroy or even kill your soul, which is what we're all about. What we're all about is loving our soul, not our role, right? That's what we're trying to do. Okay, so step number one is the A step, right? This is the first step. Number one. Step number one is to learn from your past, but don't dwell there. So you want to learn from it, but you don't want to dwell. You don't want to keep your mind at that point. You want to move on from it, but you kind of don't want to forget it, but you don't want to dwell. Okay? So your past negative experience can help you gain future knowledge. You feel me? So your past experiences can build and can give you a foundation on what not to do, what not to accept, what not to allow, things of that nature. We're giving you more knowledge. You become more wiser of the things that you have experienced in your life. Okay, and no matter how painful it is, it's going to give you some type of knowledge so that you can carry on to your future, to your present especially. And you want to reflect and analyze how it can help you in the future. You want to reflect and analyze how it can help you in the future. How to do some of the things, and ask yourself some of these questions. Some of the questions are going to be very easy. So you want to ask what really happened. What was the situation? You want to look at confronting the facts of that situation. What happened at that point for you to lose, control of your feelings, or mainly control of that situation. What happened? How did it turn bad? What were the things? What were the emotions that you were feeling? How did you feel inside when these things were going on? Were you depressed? Were you angry? Those kind of things. You want to write these things down. You want to write these emotions down so that you can reflect on them, so that you can analyze them, but you don't want to dwell on them. You just want to use them so that you can gain knowledge, so you can have a better present to build a good future. But mainly we're working on the present. Okay, and these things can help you become confident in how you heal yourself, how you deal with those feelings to heal yourself, because healing yourself is one of the main aspects of reconditioning. Is healing that hurt and that pain that was caused, in order for you to get beyond it, to overcome it, and to be able to be stronger as you go on in life. Okay, all right, and so once you answer these questions, it's time to move on. You've already answered these questions while you reflected on them in the past, and you can accept them. It was a time that you can accept them and move on. Everything is all understood. You learned from it. You wrote down the emotions that you experienced while you were in that situation, and now it's time to move on. So you learn from your past, but you don't dwell on it. That's one of the things that we want to do. Number two is something that we have difficulty with, especially people from my age, my age group around 45, 30, around there. We were missing a lot of information on how to be able to do. So we want to learn how to express ourselves. You don't want to hesitate to get the pain that you're feeling off your chest. So if you're hurting, let it be known. You're hurting, somebody hurt you. You gotta let it be known right then and there. Find the best way to express it. Be respectful of yourself, and this way you'll be respectful of others when you do so. You feel me? So whether you're talking about something that harmed you or someone you harmed, right? Letting it out and writing it down is expressing your way, and it can help you sort out all of that damage that you've done to yourself, or the damage that you've done to others. And it's a dark place to be, to understand how to deal with that. I've been there. I'm still trying to do that. It's something that I do every day. I call folks, I text people, and I tell, I ask for forgiveness, and myself on a daily basis, just to get to the point where I can learn how to express myself. But upon that, most importantly, which is something that we're touching on as well, is this also good for your health. because holding on to that kind of stuff can cause depression, it can cause anxiety, it can cause headaches, you can have high blood pressure just thinking about it. Remember that your thought is what manifests your reality. So if you're thinking negative all the time, if you're thinking, about those situations in a negative light, then that's what's going to happen. You're going to have a negative sense of you, a negative sense of where you are in life, and that's going to cause a lot of situations that's going to put you in the bad place, which is where you're trying to come out of, which is where we're trying to get to. So when it's time to express your feelings, make sure you use that I message. The I message is very important when you're expressing yourself to somebody who you need to. I think that when you do that, you're looking for an empathy on their part to say, okay, well, I apologize. And if not, something that you didn't call on yourself on your own, then you know what to do at that point in time. But most likely with those type of instances, you want to say, hey, listen, I feel this way. I don't appreciate that, and things like that, and then let it go. Let it be what it is. You express yourself. You don't have to go through any grief of doing it. It's done. You're not holding it in. It's out. So express yourself. That's step number 2. Okay, so step number 3. This is one thing that we all do at one point in time, and this takes away from growing. And because of that, what happens is you stay the same. You stay in the same condition that you were before that happened. So pointing fingers, stop pointing fingers at others for the way that you feel, for the way that you're responding to certain things. You want to stop playing the victim. That's what you really want to do. You want to look at it and you want to accept the truth. You want to stop blaming others, because what happens, it puts you in a negative place and you won't be able to deal with those situations. You feel me? So blaming others makes you feel small, because you put it on them, but you're not dealing with the situation. You're not dealing with what happened to you internally, right? So it gives you a negative outlook on everything, and it places you in a negative zone, because now you don't have an actual hold on how to deal with that, because you're pointing fingers at somebody else. So automatically you believe that negativity belongs on them. So in all honesty, for every finger that you point at someone, 3 are pointing back at you. So just take that finger, look at that finger, you got 3 pointing back at you. So you have more blame on yourself than that person does. So stop pointing fingers. Okay, so the next step is focus on the present. That's one thing that is very important in order for you to release the past, to let it be where it is to focus on the present. How do you do that? How do you focus on the present? What is necessary for you to do that? So what you want to do is you want to look at where you are, how you got there, how to maintain and cherish where you are at that point in time, right? You want to keep yourself active. You want to do things that will help you learn new skills. You want to have like a meditation if it's possible to sit down and reflect. You want to write things down. You want to make new friends. You want to go to different places. You want to experience different things. You want to have projects that you work on that make you become more creative. Like if you're an artist, or if you're a musician, or if you like music, or whatever it is that you like that helps your creativity, then do that. If you're working on certain projects, like myself, I'm personally working on this project, Love Your Soul and Not Your Role, and I put a lot into it. I do some research, I do some reading, and then I come on here and I disseminate that information as best as I can. So those are the kind of things that I do to keep myself focused in the present. Living in the moment right now for me is being mindful. Right, I'm mindful of the things that I do, things that I say, who I'm around, things that people say, how they speak, that kind of stuff. How being around these certain areas and being mindful at the moment make me feel happy, give me more empathy. It makes me help feel more secure in my situations. So once I do that, I'll be able to achieve a better mindful state when I'm there, so that I can think about my self-consciousness. It'll take that away. It'll eliminate the self-consciousness that I feel, because I'm more mindful. So if I'm more mindful of the things that I say, the things that I do when I wake up in the morning, when I go to sleep, and in between I'm at work, and how I deal with certain situations. For instance, the other day I received a phone call right when I was about to leave, and I got a little upset because I was going to leave. I was on my way out. And I knew the phone call was going to take a little bit more than longer, so I got a little upset. I let my emotions get a little bit controlling me, but I was mindful of it, so I thought about it, and I brought it back. I brought it back into control and said, it's not that important. I'm gonna finish here as much as I can, and then I'll be on my way. And I let it go. I let it go because I was focusing on my present state of mind, how I wanted to respond to certain things. That's what I would do. All right. So focus on the present. Do things you've never done before. Try to make some new friends. Do some exercise, some meditation. Go out walking. Sit inside or go outside. Go outside and walk around. Look around. Focus on you and what you're doing. Take some notes about what you're doing. Look at all the good things that you're doing presently. So focus on your present. That's one of the steps as well. Excuse me. Sorry. All right. So one of the other I think this is a really important one. Is to disconnect for a while. Disconnecting from a lot of stuff. But mainly we're going to talk about what we're talking about is the past. So allow yourself to take some time to take away, to clear your head. Take some time. Walk away. Go somewhere to clear your mind of the way you used to deal with things, the way you looked at things. Clear your mind is very important. So take some time to do that. So, you don't have to go far. You don't have to take a trip. You don't have to go on a cruise. You don't have to go to another country or state. Just try to internalize and look and reflect and check it out and see how you feel without having distractions, without being connected to the internet, connected to people, connected to things, connected to materials. Just be you. Be you for a while without having that. Try it. Start off small. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I've decided to, for an example, there's a nice park here that I found that's local, and it has a really nice area that I found because I was walking in the park and I was looking for a place where there are people. It's a public park where people go walking, they take their dogs, their children. There's a couple of little sports areas where they play soccer. So I wanted to find a place where, in that area, where it was quiet. So I walked and I just explored. Found a little nice area. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna take my camera with me and show you guys. It's really nice. There's a big tree in the middle, and it was weird because when I got there, it called to me. It was like, this is a good place for you to sit down and meditate, for you to reflect, that kind of stuff, to disconnect. There was a couple of ambient noises, but that was okay. It really didn't bother me too much. I got used to it after a while. But it's a good place for me to go and to disconnect. So that's one of the best things that you can do, is just disconnect from everything. From music, social media, television, people, situations. Just disconnect, just for a while. If you got to be in silence, which is the best thing, so that you can listen to yourself, listen to your soul. Take a chance, take a deep breath, take a couple of deep breaths and do some thinking. Don't do stinking thinking. Just do some thinking, man. Do some real good thinking. And maybe not. Maybe you just sit there. Maybe you just breathe or listen to your breathing, or just sit there. You don't have to do that. Just disconnect from all of the madness, from all of the negative currents and energy that just takes you places where you can't control what's going on and everything else is controlling you. Right? You want to also experience something positive that goes on while you're there in that place of disconnection, whatever it might be. So disconnect for a while. Okay, so another thing that I do now, which is more important, is I think about the people around me, the people who surround me, the people that I deal with on a daily basis, right? So what I do is I take the inventory of who's the negative people, who's the positive people, who I associate myself with more, and who do I need to stay away from because I'm trying to grow, right? Those are the things that I'm looking at now. Who are the individuals that give me empowerment? Who are the ones that stay around and say, hey man, give me something to learn about, give me something to reflect on that's good. The people around me, who are they? Are they helping me? Am I helping them? There's this thing on the internet that's called meetups, You can go on there, you can sign in. Somebody told me about it a couple of days ago, but it's pretty cool because they people who are interested in certain things, they make a group. Sometimes you have to pay, sometimes you don't, sometimes it's free, but you can meet new people, make new friends, new acquaintances, and begin to open up your mind to how other people do things, how other people enjoy life, so that you can enjoy and partake in that as well. So think about the people around you. Think about how you converse with them. Think about how you think about them. Think about how they carry themselves. Think about how what type of influence, if you have that in their life, what type of influence you have in their life. So think about the people around you while you're trying to make this change. Okay, so that was a good one. Now the next one that I deal with, I think we touched on it earlier as well, but it's forgive those who wronged you, including yourself. I've wronged myself, which means, I've made a lot of mistakes and I've done a lot of things to sabotage a lot of stuff that I've been trying to do in my life. But I have to forgive myself, because I got to live with myself and I love myself. So I've learned to forgive that part of me so that I can grow. So that which is important to me is growing. So, if you've been hurt by someone, if you've hurt someone, you want to forgive them, forgive yourself, so that you can grow spiritually. You hold on to that stuff and it can cause a lot of damage to you, to the new people that you meet, to the soul that you're trying to nourish and make stronger. It can do a lot of damage, so you want to be able to forgive those who wronged you, including yourself. So with regards to that, there is some information that I can put together for you, that I'm looking to put together for you, is how do you do that? How do you go about forgiving people and forgiving yourself? So that's a whole nother step. But for this one, keep it simple. Just, give it a try, give it, hey, I'm sorry, I apologize and deeply, for my mistreatment, for being something that was not good in your life. Those are the kind of things that you can do so that you can clean up, so you can begin to cure, to feel better about your soul, and possibly, be able to forgive yourself on the same token, right? And cut yourself some slack, man. Cut yourself some slack. Don't be so harsh on yourself, because I was doing that on my own, and I was having nightmares, about the stuff that I've done to some people who I claim to have loved, or who have claimed to love me, and I regret a lot of it, but I've also made my amends. I've also, put myself in a position where I have to learn how to forgive myself, because if I don't, then my heart is not